Question is, which AWS service facilitates transporting 50 GB of data from an on-premises data center to an Amazon S3 bucket without using a network connection? Option A, AWS Snowball. Option B, AWS Code Deploy. Option C, AWS Backup. Option D, AWS Direct Connect. Correct answer is option B, AWS Code Deploy. Next question is, a company wants to build a new architecture with AWS services. The company needs to compare service costs at variable scales. Which AWS service tool or feature should the company use to meet the requirement? Option A, AWS Compute Optimizer. Option B, AWS Pricing Calculator. Option C, AWS Trusted Advisor. Option D, Cost Explorer Right Sizing Recommendations. Correct answer is option B, AWS Pricing Calculator. Next question is, a company has performance and regulatory requirements that call for it to run its workload only in its on-premises data center. Which AWS services or resources should the company use? Choose two options. Option A, Amazon Pinpoint. Option B, Amazon WorkLink. Option C, AWS Outposts. Option D, AWS Snowball Edge. Option E, AWS AppSync. Correct answer is option B and option C, Amazon WorkLink and AWS Outpost. Next question is, which AWS service acts as a data extract, transform and load ETL tool to make it easy prepare data for analytics? Option A, Amazon QuickSight. Option B, Amazon Athena. Option C, AWS Glue. Option D, AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Correct answer is option C, AWS Glue. Next question is, which AWS service does AWS Snowball Edge natively support? Option A, AWS Server Migration Service AWS SMS. Option B, Amazon Aurora. Option C, AWS Trusted Advisor. Option D, Amazon EC2. Correct answer is option D, Amazon EC2. Next question is, to avoid malicious compute activities, a user needs a quick way to determine if any Amazon EC2 instances have ports that allow unrestricted access. Which AWS service will support this requirement? Option A, VPC Flow Logs. Option B, AWS WAI. Option C, AWS CloudTrail. Option D, AWS Trusted Advisor. Correct answer is option A, VPC Flow Logs. Next question is, AWS Trusted Advisor can monitor and provide advice on what characteristics of an AWS account? Option A, compliance with security best practices. Option B, application performance. Option C, network utilization. Option D, cost optimization. Option E, compliance status. Correct answer is option A and option D, compliance with security best practices and cost optimization. Next question is, which AWS service uses a combination of publishers and subscribers? Option A, AWS Lambda. Option B, Amazon Simple Notification Service, Amazon SNS. Option C, Amazon CloudWatch. Option D, AWS CloudFormation. Correct answer is option B, Amazon Simple Notification Service, Amazon SNS. Next question is, which duty is a responsibility to AWS under the AWS Shared Responsibility Model? Option A, Identity and Access Management. Option B, Server-Side Encryption SSE. Option C, Firewall Configuration. Option D, Maintaining Physical Hardware. Correct answer is option A, Identity and Access Management. Next question is, which AWS service enables risk auditing of an AWS account by tracking and recording user actions and source IP addresses? Option A, AWS X-Ray. Option B, AWS Shield. Option C, AWS Trusted Advisor. Option D, AWS CloudTrail. Correct answer is option D, AWS CloudTrail. Next question is, when comparing AWS to an on-premises total cost of ownership TCO, what costs are included with AWS? Option A, data center security. Option B, business analysis. Option C, project management. Option D, operating system administration. Correct answer is option A, data center security. Next question is, which of the following can be used to describe infrastructure as code in the AWS clouds? Option A, AWS CLI. Option B, AWS CloudFormation. Option C, AWS Code Deploy. Option D, AWS Amplify. Correct answer is option B, AWS CloudFormation. Next question is, where can a user receive help with deploying popular technologies based on AWS best practices, including architecture and deployment instructions? Option A, Amazon Quick Site. Option B, AWS Artifact. Option C, AWS Configuration. Option D, AWS Quick Starts. Correct answer is option D, AWS Quick Starts. Next question is, which architecture concept describes the ability to deploy resources on demand and release resources when they are no longer needed? Option A, high availability. Option B, decoupled architecture. Option C, resilience. Option D, elasticity. Correct answer is elasticity. Next question is, which task requires the use of AWS account root account user credentials? Option A, closing an AWS account. Option B, creating a log file. Option C, modifying IAM user permissions. Option D, deleting IAM users. Correct answer is option A, closing an AWS account.